All right, speaking of decks and queues, though, we got one more long day ahead of us, so let's get into this, shall we? Yeah, Unflinching Courage is just Armadillo Cloak, kind of. Armadillo Cloak technically doesn't give lifelink. It's when it deals damage, there's a trigger, if I recall correctly. This gives lifelink. So this is Bogles, which for those that aren't familiar, Bogles refers to the card Slippery Bogle, which is not legal in Pioneer, but we pay homage to it by calling this deck Bogles. That's a 1-1 with Hexproof. Gladecover Scout, also a 1-1 with Hexproof. So the idea of this deck is we have 10 different Hexproof creatures in our main deck, and then a couple of Adanto Vanguards that's like pseudo-Hexproof if your opponent can't bounce or exile it. And then we have a bunch of creature enchantments that we slip on to these various Bogles to make them big and scary. So the idea is we want a mulligan to have one of our Hexproof threats in our opener, and then we cast it, and we suit it up with a bunch of things, and we just attack our opponent. This deck is very straightforward, very linear. Not quite sure how powerful it is. This was a deck that, around the start of the format, when both Once Upon a Time and Veil of Summer were legal, this archetype was putting up a bunch of results. However, it's kind of fallen off the map since Once Upon a Time was banned, because this is a deck that like really needs its key creature, and losing that extra consistency on that is a tough loss. So let's see how it goes today without the inclusion of Once. There aren't really any super commonly played Edict effects on there. There's the Green-Black Soul Flare list, the one we're playing now. You know, if there are videos of it on YouTube, I don't see it on Hoagland.com. Is it not in the deck queue? Did I forget to link it there? It's linked in the deck queue. As in Toth. I was like, I thought I linked it in the deck queue last night. If you go to the deck queue page, the third one down in the Pioneer section. Yeah, taking some days off to recharge is good. Like, this evening, and probably a little bit tomorrow morning, like, after I stream today, I'm going to be, what's the word I'm searching for? I'm going to be working on an article for Cool Stuff Inc., going over Theros spoilers. We're on the draw here, so I think because we're on the draw, I'm supposed to bottom a Gryff Spoon. If I was on the play, I think I'd bottom the Archer, but because I'm on the draw, I don't want to take the risk of getting Thought Seized on one and losing my only creature. So, if I was on the play, my mulligan decision ends up looking differently there, because I'm on the draw. And again, like, that's just one of the things, hey, thanks for the biddies, Boshek. That's just one of those things that, like, makes the London Mulligan so interesting, is I get to sit here and make a decision that, like, normally I wouldn't be able to make. Like, on the first turn of the game, I have decisions to make. Yeah, there's a chance it's too many 4s, but I want to see how it goes. Hey, look, that's the Liliana we don't care about. It is, however, I guess we kind of care about it. That Liliana's really good against this. I'm going to go ahead and slide Gryff Spoon onto here, and then play this Archer. And the plan here is to basically just ignore them. If our opponent is playing Massacre Girl, like the standard Oven deck does, they could have a way to kill through our stuff here. So we're just hoping to draw a bunch of enchant creatures from this point out, and just keep suiting this up to make it bigger and bigger. You have a fighty wolf that has nothing to fight. Totem Armor doesn't even help against Massacre Girl, right? Massacre Girl is --. We have actually played a list close to the Soul Flare list once before on YouTube. It didn't have Rankle in it last time, but the conclusion at the end was we should try some Rankles next time. If we have another good Soul Flare run today, I'll probably add it to the website. Armadillo Cloak, more All That Glitters. Any of these things would be good. Nice, Bunny. If we don't find more enchant creatures, these foods could give us a run for the money on racing this Gladecover Scout. Yeah, this archetype gets to play all that glitters and Ethereal Armor. We don't get to play Daybreak Coronet like Bogles in Modern does, but Unflinching Courage is like pretty close. Hey, Rigeld, let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for the interior support. Welcome back. Happy Friday. Oi, Punk's not dead. Thanks for the 15 months. Welcome back. Ooh, that's a sweet one. Now we get to find out if they have a Massacre Girl. If they have a Massacre Girl, we get to concede here. Ishkana. Okay, so no Massacre Girl, but they have Ishkana. That's very good here. Need to find some stuff now. So Ishkana and her spider friends give them lots of reach blockers. So we need to find like Cloak into more enchantments now. Otherwise, this game's pretty over. How about another land? Yeah. That's the thing about playing a deck like this is, and these are, you know, a lot of decks like this, or there's a lot of decks like this in Magic. This type of deck is a very low player agency deck inside of the games you actually play. Hey, Erebus. Well, welcome back. Glad to still be here. Thanks for keeping me around. Make sure you have a sword while you're here. Not even just wrong half problem, but so much as like low player agency, I think is more accurate. Like this is definitely the type of deck where like your decisions that matter are how you mulligan and how you sideboard, and then like when it comes to actually playing out the games themselves tend to be very scripted. Well, I mean, like, we care about what the opponent's doing, like, the spider matters, but, like, as far as, like, what our actual game plan is, like, we don't interact with what they're doing. I don't even think that comparing it to Green Tron is strictly a good comparison. Like, Tron actually has a number of really interactive elements to it. Like, Tron in a lot of ways is a big mana control deck. Alright, so Vanguard's very bad against their Liliana the Last Hope deck. Definitely going to trade that out for a couple more Witchstalkers here. Do I want Rest in Peace? Nah, Idyllic Tutor's not a very playable card. Spending 3 extra mana to get whatever you're going to get is not good. It's very, very slow. I'm going to cut these marks and bring in a couple of Rest in Pieces here. Making their traverses worse sounds good. I don't think I want all 3, but Sentinel's Mark is not super exciting here. That's actually a good point. Perhaps I should have left the Vanguards in as extra threats just because they're likely to board Last Hope outright because it looked really bad against what I was doing. So this starts a little slow, but the enchantments in it are good. We have a better mix of stuff we have than last game. Yeah, if we get to the slaughter, we get to the slaughter. It is what it is. Sometimes they have your number, chat. Sometimes they have your number. Rip. Yep. Mixing the Trail Oven package in with Delirium seems really sweet. Because, like, these are just, like, artifacts and enchantments that are things, like, you don't mind getting in the bin to enable Delirium. Morning's White. Should have Bogled harder, right? I mean, they don't have a clock yet, so, like, if we just, like, rip a Bogle, we have, like, our hand's really good if we rip a Bogle. Their clock is very slow. So we have 11 threats and 49 cards. Let's go. The deck's just trying to create suspense for us, okay, chap? What they reveal here? Another Wicked Wolf, sure. So we have to draw something like this turn. I guess we could draw something in 2 turns. We have 2 turns to draw something. It's a Gift of the Orzhova. Love the artwork on this card. Alright, one last shot. It's the chance to roll. Opportunity comes once in a match time. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. The London Mulligan did this. I don't understand. The London Mulligan's supposed to make my linear deck so much better, chap. I think that's too little, too late. Because of this. If they didn't have the Vraska here, I could suit that up with Gift of the Orzhova. He needed this 1 turn sooner though. Morning eggs are good. So far not so great. All right, in. Thanks for the 14 months, Remoose. I appreciate that. Welcome back. And it seems very reasonable. If they have a 1-drop, I can't actually attack through their 1-drop on 2, which is a little annoying with this hand, but we can shoot up 6 cents and then, like, Unflinching Courage on 3. Man, they're going to flash in a Spectral Sailor, and I'm going to, like, slide out of my chair. Oh, yeah. Always, yes. Always yield. Oh, no. Oh, no. Are we about to get Blessed Alliance? We should have, like, played against 2 people in a row who have Edict effects. Whew. All right. All right, so you're saying there's a chance. Take a chance on me. Do. The problem here is we're gonna get verdicted next turn. You know what? Ain't nobody got time for you, Tefri. Would they have been dead if this would have been +4? No, they wouldn't be dead, but they'd be close. I subscribe for the Haba. Thanks for the half a year, Yak. Well, dear opponent, please don't Supreme Verdict me. Survey says... Yeah, we drew infinite extra cards here, but... Maybe I'm supposed to put an enchantment on here? Oh, I think we've died, chat. I think we've died. You're too late, Archer. You get counterspelled this turn. Brutal. One card too late. One card too late. Witchstalker, Vanguard in. Heroic Intervention in. Sentinel's Mark out. Gryff Spoon out. Gift of the Orzhova out. And then probably Gryff Spoon. So we're just going to go up on threats, post board. We go up to 16 creatures, along with some heroic intervention. Actually, Gryff Spoon's probably better than Unflinching Courage. How much is heroic intervention in paper? I don't know, a couple of bucks. It's $15? This is a $15 rare? That can't be real. Wow, it is $16 on Cool Stuff Inc. Finance is so stupid. Finance is so stupid. Every green deck in EDH plays. I mean, yeah, but you only need one, right? Man, that's why Arena's great. You know what that card would cost on Arena? One rare wild card. That's what it would cost. And then in comparison, on Magic Online, wow! Heroic Intervention is $12 on Magic. I was just saying, that card's probably cheap on Moto too. It's not. It's not cheap on Moto. Alright, hoping for a white source. Any land would do, but white source would be ideal. I mean, finance includes natural demand. Like, there is, like, finance isn't just people, like, rampantly speculating. There's natural demand in there, too. Oh, you know what? I should have put Cartouche on this last turn. I'm going to get Blessed Alliance and just hate myself here. If I would have put Cartouche on it last turn, I would have been able to attack with this 1/1 and play around Alliance. I don't think they play enough Alliance to be worth playing around. I need to just get my attack in here, but I'm going to feel real bad when they have it. feels bad, man. Yep. Yeah, I mean, like, that's just how this deck goes, right? Like, we talked about this being a very low player agency deck. You're basically just making your mulligan decisions, strapping your dude and dudettes up, being like, hey, do you have the thing? When they have the thing, you die. When they don't have the thing, you win. We hit two interactive decks in a row that both had their thing. It's just how it rolls sometimes. I'm gonna bottom that one, I think. I don't know. I mean, like, we just get Supreme Verdict on 4 and it doesn't matter. Like, blue-white controls, like, basically an impossible matchup for this archetype. It isn't even just Blessed Alliance. And actually, just to, like, go back and reflect on my play, like, you could make the argument that, like, my sequencing is correct because my sequencing plays around Dovin's Veto on my more important enchantment. And they definitely have 4 Dovin's Veto, and they likely have 1 or 2 Blessed Alliance at most. It's, again, just one of those things about Magic, right? Like, you can make all the correct decisions and still die. It's just like how it works. Thanks for 11 months, Party Bus. I appreciate that. Welcome back. So, like, playing around that one card there that they're unlikely to have versus playing around a card that we know they almost certainly play 4 of. we cannot catch a break today, huh? This actually just doesn't exist for the Bogles. Just hosed at actual every single. We're actually gonna play the Lotus Field deck next. The second deck, Twiddle Field, is the Lotus Field deck. Wait, what? Are they killing us next turn? Did they think this cost 1? Did they think this cost 1? Deal. Resolves. They must have... This pause here makes me think they must have autopiloted to Modern Bogles and assumed this cost 1. Crap, they 1-for-1 Dark Gryff. I mean, we could just die still, right? Like, they're playing a linear combo deck and it could just kill us next turn. The long pause here makes me think they know they made an oopsie. We could still just die, but I think they know they made an oopsie. Yeah, exactly, Maven. This will get a Thespian stage. We're like 2 to 3 turns off of killing them. We're two attacks from killing them, right? And there's a good chance they get us next turn. Now we're like 3 turns off of killing them. This card is so good. Just unreal good. And why does it have reach? Why does it have reach, chat? Who thought giving this card reach was okay? Do I have a business or residential internet account with my provider? I have fiber internet, so you don't have to go through that nonsense. My heart goes out to everybody who has to deal with cable internet providers still in 2020. Cable internet providers are the stone cold bratwurst. They are legal monopolies that should have more intervention by the government because they're not okay. Thank you for a very generous tier 2 resub window head. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah. Yeah, my fiber internet has all the reliability of a business cable line with like 10 times the speed and like a third the cost. I pay $76 a month for 500 down, 100 up, and I actually get 500 down, 100 up. In my 2 years or so that I've had the fiber internet, I've had one instance of unscheduled downtime and one instance of scheduled downtime. Yeah, I literally upload, so like I record locally while I'm streaming, and then like if you ever hear me go through my mental checklist in between decks, I actually upload my, 4 or 5 gigabyte video file to YouTube while I'm still live on Twitch. So this is how the opponent's deck wins. They use this card Pour Over the Pages here, along with Hidden Stirrings, to untap these lands over and over again to make incredible amounts of mana. I think the opponent's archetype is very good. I also would be kind of surprised if their deck is still entirely legal come Monday. Echoplex, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. And if you want to hear extra, so like I pay $76 for my fiber internet. When I had Comcast before fiber was available in my area, I had to pay Comcast $50 a month just to uncap my bandwidth, because paying for my Comcast internet didn't give me permission to use as much of that internet as I could. So the amount I paid to uncap my Comcast is comparable to how much my fiber just straight up costs me. Because, like streaming, so like for instance, when I'm streaming to Twitch, I use 6 megs a second just for Twitch. And that doesn't count like what the game's using and what I have to like upload to YouTube and all that other stuff. I don't think the opponent's deck should exist in a world where it's able to combo before the 5th or 6th turn of the game. They had a very slow start this game. They're not comboing till turn 6. I think this is probably mostly fine. The problem is the opponent's deck's best draws can frequently, I believe they can go off as early as turn 3, definitely turn 4. I think that's too soon. Okay, so this is how they win. They cast Granted, which lets them go. They ramp up into Omniscience. They cast Granted. They then cast Enter the Infinite to draw the entirety of their deck. And then I believe they Jace. The build we're playing has Fae of Wishes for 4-mana Jace. Yeah, the big problem with the opponent's archetype is there just aren't enough interaction points between Lotus Field being hexproof and it not depending on creatures or anything like that. I don't know what should be banned is a big question. They could go in a lot of different directions. I know I personally would be really sad if this deck gets Dig Through Time banned, because Dig Through Time being banned could be one of the conclusions they have. So I know the opponent's deck tends to play Supreme Verdict some of the time, so I think I want these interventions, these Adanto Vanguards. I don't want these slower enchant creatures, I don't think. Yeah, I think it's just all the 3-mana ones out. I'll bring in Rest in Peace to slow down their digs. Someone else, Seth. Hey, Perpsy, thanks for the 10 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Yeah, they could ban one of the untappers. They could ban if they want to get rid of the actual deck, they ban the field. I mean, I'd be surprised if they ban actual field. That would kind of surprise me. Ooh, that's a good thought. Okay, yeah, Pithing Needle shuts off Thespian Stage. Yeah, that should be in my deck. It's a good suggestion. They could ban Grazer. A lot of these lists don't even play for Grazer, though, is the issue. I think they could ban Grazer for other reasons and then incidentally hurt this deck a little bit. Like, we'd have killed them last game if they'd have, if they wouldn't have had Grazer, right? Like, Grazer is the reason they survived. Yeah, they could ban Pour over the pages. Like I said, a lot of those what gets banned questions are impossible to know just because we can't know what their goal is. Like, is their goal to cripple the deck or is their deck to kill the deck? Is their goal to kill the deck? And I think a lot of that has to... So they have Blast Zone here on 1. So I need to just hold up Heroic Intervention here. So I can't know what Wizards of the Coast goal is, if their goal is to kill or cripple it. So, punish for not jamming all that glitters this turn. And like again, a Boreal Grazer here. Normally the natural type of Predator to decks like what the opponent's playing is more aggressively slanted decks. But with cards like a Boreal Grazer, it gives these decks a very good tool against what should be their natural Predator. I don't think it depends on win rate, actually. I think in an ideal world, the win rate should be irrelevant. And in an ideal world, what should be more important than the win rate is the type of gameplay that's generated. A lot of people like to make the argument that win rate is the only thing that matters, and if a deck's not good enough, it shouldn't matter. And I don't think that's true. I think you can and should ban things because of the quality of gameplay that they generate. When a kid shows up to their first F&M and they have to sit there and watch the Lotus Field player go off on turn 3 or turn 4 when they really didn't get to play a game, and have to sit there for 10 minutes while they maybe die, they don't care if it's not consistent. So decks like this, and whether or not they're allowed to exist, that will show us whether or not what their goals are for this as a format, basically. Like what's the goal? Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with Walking Ballista as well. I think it would be my concern with Walking Ballista is that they are going to... My concern with Walking Ballista is that it looks like it's going to be a mistake. It's likely going to be a mistake, but they're going to make us wait and see and suffer through it like they do so often. Well, we haven't won a game. Let's try 4th time's the charm. There was a big quick one. Let's try to see if we can get on the scoreboard in the 4th match. Yeah, it's also not great for coverage. Yeah, Party Bus. It's a trigger just like anything else. You get to respond to it. That's usually why, if you're going to Deep Fiend targeting someone's lands, you do it during their upkeep, so that way if they float mana, they can't use it to play. sorcery speed things. I mean, again, just like, no, anybody who your investment or purchase would be ruined by your deck being banned out from underneath you, you should not be buying a Pioneer deck yet. In fact, I'd probably argue you should be waiting till the end of January. Should probably be waiting till the end of the month. And I would recommend holding off. Oh, this is awkward. The Grove plus Village means I can't... oh, I can do this on 2, right? I do this tapped on 1, tapped on 1, untapped on 2. Okay. I already have cards for the Lotus Field deck set. I'm just playing what someone sent me. Chat, I think there's a chance our deck's not linear enough for Pioneer. I'm getting the sinking feeling our deck's not linear enough for Pioneer. Morning, Stealth Yellow. Happy Friday. Thanks for keeping me around. This is their turn 4. All right. Unaborted some Decade Stone. Yeah, a letter from the state of Michigan saying that I'm one of the 250,000 randos selected to apply for the redistricting commission. That's neat. Thanks for the 5 months, Grizzlies. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I honestly wouldn't be sad if Walking Ballista got banned. Ballista is one of those cards where it goes into so many things. Like, we were talking yesterday about how every good playable card renders other cards unplayable. Ballista makes a lot of cards very bad. Like, there are a lot of cards that, like, as long as Ballista is around and omnipresent, that they're all rendered unplayable. All right, this is the type of hand we need to race here. Attack for 5 on turn 2. First strike, 6 cents. Let's go. We're gonna attack for at least 7 next turn. We're gonna attack for a lot more than 7, chat. Is this lethal? Not quite, but close. Curious Obsession gives +1/+1. Alright, so looking for a lifelink enchantment here. I mean, there's a real chance here that, like, if we don't find, like, we're pumping the brakes next turn if we don't find evasion, right? Because this doesn't have trample. I think I'm actually just supposed to hang tight here and, like, wait for another creature or an evasive enchantment. Especially with this Ethereal Armor in my hand. Because if I can put them under double Abyss, that would be good. But I'm losing the race at the moment. And like this feels like if we lose this game, this feels like an excellent example of our deck just not being good enough, right? Like this hand was like pretty close to ideal. And it's looking like we're dead on board, right? You just gotta believe, chat. Fly, my Bogle, fly! Jump to the heavens! Get suited up here. Just like we drew it up. 52-point swing, let's go. Alright. Shame, MTG. Thank you for the 10 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, let's just do, I'd like one more of those, please. Get that. We're finally on the scoreboard. This is a mulligan, right? This is close. I think I'm supposed to mulligan. I only have like 14 white in my deck. Sure. We'll keep this. We'll bottom a forest. Wild. They're playing more than 8 mana dorks. That's crazy. Deck the halls with balls of steel leaf. La 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 la. So we really need more Ethereal Armors, ones that give lifelink. Any of our lifelink enchantments are some of our best draws right now. The good news here is this Tower Archer is going to do an excellent defensive posturing for the time being. This Ethereal Armor is going to make it a 5/4 with first strike. We really need trample or lifelink. All that glitters isn't really good enough here because that one doesn't give evasion, right? It's just a power up, right? Yeah, and we need evasion to win the race. We're not going to win the race without evasion. Yep. Yep. We've not seen a devotion pump spell out of the opponent, no. Yep. Is Rancor illegal? I feel like it's been a while since we've seen that card. It is not Pioneer legal, no. Alright, well, we won a game, but we lost the match. Yeah, that did not feel very good. This deck did not feel... Even its good draws were questionably linear enough to really race other things that are going on in the format, and its average draw just wasn't very good. I do think we got a little bit unfortunate with the first two matchups at least, where we hit interactive matchups that also had like really good interaction to line up into what we were doing. But I think like the Twiddlestorm matchup, the Twiddlefield matchup, and that last mono green aggro matchup were just good examples of like what we're doing on average just not being consistent or powerful enough. Like those were just pure race situations, and it really showed that our deck was just not capable of racing in them. Jund in all formats, thanks for the quarter of a year, welcome back. All right, I'm going to hit a quick ad roll while I get set up for this next one. When we get back, we are going to try our own hand at some Twiddlestorms. There's going to be some fun fumbling with this one. So back in a few, folks. Thanks for hanging out today.